Welcome to This Explainer. Listen, if you have ever felt this massive wave of anxiety wash over you the second you start thinking about your long-term money situation, I need you to know that you are absolutely not alone. Today, we're going to take that exact financial anxiety and transform it into a totally empowering, step-by-step roadmap for a secured future. We're going to break down exactly how you can align your finances with your most deeply held values and dreams. So let's dive right in with a super direct question. Are you operating with a monthly surplus or a deficit? Take a quick second to self-reflect on that. So often our financial stress stems from simply not knowing the honest answer to that one question. Understanding whether you've got a little extra padding each month, are barely breaking even, or are actually running a deficit, well, that is the absolutely crucial starting line for making intentional choices with your money. To get us to our destination, we're going to follow this really straightforward 5-phase roadmap. First, we map your starting point. Second, we build your financial foundation. Third, we protect your hard-earned wealth. Fourth, we invest in your future. And finally, we secure your ultimate legacy. Sounds good? Let's get to it. Phase 1, mapping your starting point. This is all about assessing where you are and setting your goals. Okay, analyzing your cash flow. This really starts with drawing a hard line between your fixed costs, the big stuff that stays the same like your rent or your mortgage, and your variable costs, like groceries or going out for a movie. Actually documenting these categories, whether you use a spreadsheet or just an app on your phone, can uncover some sneaky spending patterns you might not even realize you have. Once you've got a handle on your cash flow, it's time to compile your net worth. Now, that sounds like Wall Street jargon, but really, it's just a simple inventory of your assets. It's comparing what you own, like your savings, investments, and property, against your liabilities, which is just what you owe, like debts and loans. The difference between those two columns? That right there is your true financial starting line.
But look, knowing where you are only helps if you know where you're going. Just saying something like, I want to save more, it's way too vague. But applying the SMART framework changes the game completely. When you create a specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goal, like save 10 lakh rupees within 2 years for a down payment, you give yourself a concrete, actionable milestone. That is what keeps you motivated.
And to really build momentum, you've got to chunk those massive life goals into manageable time frames. Think about it like this. A 1-year goal might be a much-needed family vacation. A medium-term, say 1 to 5-year goal, could be fully funding an emergency reserve. And your 10-plus-year goal? That's likely going to be your retirement. Chunking it out like this makes the entire journey feel incredibly attainable. Moving right along to Phase 2, building your financial foundation, budget and emergency fund. Think of this foundation as the daily engine of your financial car. It's what drives your savings and keeps everything running smoothly on the road. A really well-structured budget empowers you by putting your expenses into 5 core buckets: lifestyle, giving, savings, debt, and taxes. The trick is, once you cover the non-negotiables like taxes, debt, and basic lifestyle needs, you can intentionally allocate money for savings and giving, leaving your discretionary, fun money for last. So, about that savings slice of the pie, experts generally agree you should be aiming to stash away 10 to 20% of your income toward your goals, depending on when you actually started saving. Now, I know, if 20% sounds literally impossible right now, take a breath. Don't worry. The real secret is just to start small and gradually inch that target up over time. And the very first job for those savings? Your emergency fund. Why? Well, picture this. You're driving to work, minding your own business, and boom, your car totally breaks down, requiring a massive out-of-the-blue auto repair. If you have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up for your housing, utilities, and food, that repair is just a temporary inconvenience. It's not a complete financial disaster. This fund ensures you don't have to fall back on credit cards or debt when life inevitably throws you a curveball. All right, Phase 3, protecting your hard-earned wealth. Let's talk insurance and taxes. Look, insurance is an absolutely brilliant tool for those times of pure uncertainty. You need to be looking at health, life, disability, liability, and property coverages. And here is a fantastic rule of thumb to keep in your back pocket. Ideally, your life insurance cover should be equal to your total gross income all the way up until your expected retirement. But protecting your wealth isn't just about disasters. It also means optimizing your tax liability. Tax-efficient investment vehicles like ELSS, PPF, SSY, tax-free bonds, and ULIPs, I know, it's a lot of acronyms, but they are simply powerful tools to help you leverage deductions and credits. Exploring these strategies periodically ensures you are constantly supporting your wealth accumulation and, frankly, keeping more of what you earn. Next up, Phase 4, investing in your future. Investing and retirement. To actually hit the accelerator on your wealth, you have to truly understand your own risk tolerance and build a balanced portfolio. Holding tangible physical assets, like real estate, right alongside high-growth financial assets, things like shares, debentures, mutual funds, fixed deposits, and sovereign gold bonds, is exactly how you manage risk while supporting serious long-term growth. It's all about balance. And trust me, that growth is absolutely vital for retirement. As you look down the road, you really have to estimate the impact of inflation and future healthcare costs to ensure you don't end up outliving your money. Making consistent, regular contributions to retirement accounts like NPS, EPF, PPF, VPF, or ELSS provides that steady compounding growth, because the ultimate goal here? Complete financial independence in your later years.
Which brings us to our final destination, Phase 5, securing your ultimate legacy. Estate planning and advisors.
Now, estate planning. It's really just about profound peace of mind. By getting essential legal documents ready, like your wills, trusts, power of attorney, and medical directives, you do so much. You prevent complicated, messy family situations, you help avoid unnecessary taxes, and you absolutely guarantee that your assets are distributed exactly the way you want them to be. And hey, you really don't have to navigate this whole journey alone. Bringing a financial advisor on board provides you with the professional expertise to navigate wealth transfer, manage risk, and keep you disciplined when the market gets rocky. Finding a professional whose values actually align with yours fosters incredible confidence in your long-term plan. Well, that brings us to the end of our explainer, but it leaves me with one final, absolutely crucial question for you. What will your first step be today? Remember, a cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't work with money. Creating a plan that's tailored to your incredibly unique circumstances is the true foundation of financial security. So will you calculate your net worth? Maybe draft up a SMART goal? Whatever it is, I want you to take that step today and start navigating life's uncertainties with absolute knowledge and confidence. You've got this.